Good evening, dear listeners. Welcome to tonight's program. I'm your old friend. On a quiet night like this, we always feel like talking about the stories hidden deep in our hearts, the ones we don't have time to reflect on during the day. For those who are new here, feel free to follow the channel and join our warm, supportive community. And if you have a story tucked away in your heart, don't hesitate to share it with me. Tonight's story comes from a couple who have been married for nearly 20 years. Both are in their 40s, and their child is already in high school. It's a marriage that began with love and freedom, built on a strong emotional foundation. Yet, without warning, it was shaken by a storm. This story touches on the balance between career and family, the conflict between betrayal and loyalty, and I believe it will give all of us something to think about. Let's step into their story together. And as you listen, I hope you'll share your thoughts in the comments. The woman in this story is a successful entrepreneur earning around $2 million a year. The man, on the other hand, is an ordinary employee earning about $7,000 a month. Both of them look young and presentable, and their lifestyle appears comfortable. But behind the scenes, it is mostly the woman who carries the weight, covering household expenses like utilities, internet, property fees, and taking on most of the responsibility of raising their child. The man, perhaps by nature, has always been somewhat restless. His career has never taken off, and he grew up in a highly protective family environment. From university to work, everything in his life was arranged for him. He hasn't faced many hardships, and he lacks a deep understanding of money and responsibility. Outside, he spends freely and generously. Although his financial contribution to the family is limited, over the years he has still taken care of basic family responsibilities. However, things began to change during the woman's pregnancy. The man was caught engaging in flirtatious online behavior. After being confronted, he promised to change. Things settled down for 2 years, but eventually he returned to his old ways, though not as extreme. The woman, whether due to her easygoing personality or emotional resilience, chose not to pursue the issue further. She devoted herself to her career, building assets, raising their child, and maintaining a good relationship with her in-laws. In many ways, she managed to balance career and family well and felt relatively content with her life, though deep down, she occasionally felt a quiet sense of loneliness. Then, a few months ago, she accidentally discovered that her husband had been paying for sex. This revelation hit her like a thunderbolt. It felt as if her world had collapsed, yet she tried to stay calm. She wanted to save the marriage and suggested that they face the problem together and grow through it, but the man's reaction was shocking. He gave up completely. He asked for a divorce, even offered to leave with nothing, and began treating her with cold indifference. His behavior was a complete reversal from before. Strangely, however, he continued living in the house, cooking breakfast every day, maintaining a superficial sense of normalcy. For several months, they remained in this tense state. The man avoided the issue entirely, saying divorce was optional. He seemed indifferent. Now, the woman has decided to file for divorce. Deep down, she once believed that the original partner is always the best, a belief many career-driven women may share. From a psychological perspective, the man's behavior may be rooted in his upbringing, having been sheltered and guided throughout his life. He lacks the ability to independently face life's challenges. This often leads to a sense of inner emptiness, which he may try to fill through external stimulation. His avoidance and passive attitude toward the marriage crisis reflect an inability to take responsibility and face the consequences of his actions. When the woman discovered his behavior during pregnancy and chose to forgive him, it showed her commitment to the family and her tolerance in the relationship. However, this tolerance may have unintentionally signaled to him that his actions carried no real consequences, leading to repeated mistakes. Meanwhile, the woman has been striving to balance both career and family. Her sense of loneliness reflects unmet emotional needs. Despite giving so much to the family, she has not received the emotional support she deserves. The significant economic gap between them may also be a contributing factor. While the man fulfills basic responsibilities, his financial contribution is far less than hers. This imbalance may create pressure for him, leading him to seek psychological compensation in unhealthy ways. As for the woman, despite her success, she bears a heavy burden in the marriage both financially and emotionally. I've encountered similar cases before. One woman, much like the protagonist in this story, discovered her husband's infidelity and fell into deep pain and confusion. But by reflecting deeply on the issues in her marriage and understanding her true needs, she eventually made a choice that was best for her. This reminds us that when facing marital struggles, we must have the courage to examine the situation and prioritize our own emotional well-being. As for the woman's decision to divorce, from both an emotional and practical standpoint, it may be an opportunity for her to reclaim herself and begin a new chapter in life. Letting go of a 20-year marriage is never easy, but when a relationship can no longer provide respect and emotional fulfillment, choosing to walk away is also a form of wisdom. Dear friends, what do you think after hearing this story? If you were faced with betrayal in a marriage, would you choose to stay and repair the relationship, or would you choose to leave? Have you seen examples where a person's upbringing affected their behavior in a relationship? Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Your voice might bring clarity or comfort to someone going through a similar situation. This story of a 40-plus marriage shows us the struggle between love and betrayal and the awakening and growth of a woman in crisis. Marriage is like a long journey filled with beautiful moments, but also unexpected hardships. When we face betrayal and challenges, the choices we make test both our wisdom and our courage. I hope every one of you finds true happiness and fulfillment in your own relationships. Thank you for spending this evening with me. If you enjoyed the program, don't forget to like and share so more people can feel this warmth and strength. See you again tomorrow at the same time, as we continue to explore the world of emotions together. Good night, my